What is going on, you guys? I'm Kai Gamer back with another video, and boy was I wrong. And this is a video I didn't expect to make. So I made a video a while ago, about a month ago, basically talking about the Call of Duty World War II Season Pass. And throughout the video I basically said the Season Pass is worth it. It's gonna be one of the best Season Passes in Call of Duty, mainly because we would be getting more content. So if you've known in the past Call of Duties, we've usually had about one zombies map or special mode map, whether that was survival or zombies or whatever, but recently it's been zombies. Every company seems to keep doing zombies for whatever reason. And then we would always get 4 multiplayer maps usually, and it's become a trend to have one of them be a remake. And I'm not really okay with them being a remake, because personally I think it's lazy as hell for developers just to take a map, throw a skin on it, and throw it in a new game and say this is worth the same amount of money that you guys have used to spend for 4 brand new multiplayer maps. But besides the point, now it's kind of common tradition to do a map remake of an old Call of Duty map. So anyways, I figured this year it would be, the Season Pass would be at its peak. I thought we were going to get a zombies map, 1 or 2 war mode maps, and 4 multiplayer maps. And that sounds reasonable to me. And today, when the Season Pass, or the first DLC pack, was announced, we will be getting 3 multiplayer maps, 1 war mode map, and 1 zombies map. So the 1 zombies map, that's kind of excluded from this whole argument. The problem I'm having is the 3 multiplayer maps, and one of them being a remake of the Resistance map from Modern Warfare 3. And I know I said the Season Pass would be worth it this year, but boy was I wrong. And I'll admit it, I was way off. Not only did Sledgehammer, do something completely different and not give us 4 multiplayer maps, they're screwing us over on one of the multiplayer maps that they're giving us. There's 3 multiplayer maps, and one of them is a remake. The remakes are the laziest things Call of Duty could do. They just slap on a skin to a map, maybe put a few obstacles in a different place. Let's put, for example, in Resistance, let's put a box over here that's World War II themed, and then let's call it a new map. That shit's lazy. Like, they literally just get the map design from, whatever company had it, Infinity Ward or something like that, and they just slap a few Nazi signs on there, and that's pretty much good to go. And they're just like, yep, send it, and that's pretty much how the map comes to exist. I don't know, I'm just saying, there's probably more in-depth designing. I don't know how to design a map. I'm sure there's more to that, but you guys get the general idea of what I'm getting at. It just seems lazy to me. And it's a map we've all played on. Yes, it looks a little bit different. There might be a few different objects placed around the map, but the map in its entirety, it seems pretty much similar, almost exactly the same to the map that was in Modern Warfare 3. And if I really wanted to, I could hop on Modern Warfare 3. Despite some hacking and cheating, I could eventually find the Resistance map and play on it, or I could go into survival, play on the Resistance map, no problem. I could do that anytime I wanted to today. And this is why I have a problem with the Season Pass and with the DLC in Call of Duty. They're gypping us and expecting us to pay the same price for this DLC. They're expecting us to basically just hand over our money for nothing. The game Call of Duty World War II came with 9 base multiplayer maps, and that is the lowest out of any Call of Duty, I think, that's been released. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember when the game came out, everyone was complaining about there only being 9 maps, and people were saying it's the lowest amount of maps that's ever been in a base game. So, moving on from that, now there's 1 war mode map, which I expected them to bring the war mode map, but I figured that would be extra from the multiplayer maps. I didn't think they would literally remove a multiplayer map to make way for this war mode map, because if you think about it, yes, war mode is popular, but it is not the majority of the game. Most people aren't going to want to play, objective-based game mode 24/7. The majority of the game mode is playing regular, regular just game modes, team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, that whole list of modes, those are literally where the most players are. So I'm not sure why Sledgehammer thought it was good, to remove an entire multiplayer map and throw in this war map instead, because they're basically taking away from their biggest part of their player base. They're, oh man, it just blows my mind. And not only is there only 3 maps, so with a game that starts out with 9 multiplayer maps and now is only getting 3 more maps, that's a problem with me. And the problem I'm having is now it's theoretically 2 maps, because when there's a remake, I know everyone has their different opinions on this, but when there's a map remake, I completely throw that one out, because that's a map I've played on. It's boring to me at that point. If I've played on a map for an entire year, whenever Modern Warfare 3 was out years ago, when I played on that, it was a good map. It was new. It was something fun to play on. Now, this is the second time Resistance has been remade, basically, because now in Infinite Warfare, I'm pretty sure they had that map remake in there too. So now they're getting even worse with map remakes. They're literally remaking remakes of the map. They're just eventually we're gonna get a Call of Duty game that has no new maps, has no base maps. It's just gonna be the freaking Resistance map just remade 11 different times and put into the game. And I'm physically mad about this, because this is just unacceptable. They're charging the same amount for DLC, but they're giving us less. So back to what I was originally saying, the Resistance map, throw that shit right out the door. It's completely, I don't count that as a new map. People might have different opinions. If you're watching this video right now, you might have a completely different opinion and say, that's a multiplayer map, and we're definitely getting 3. But personally, a remade map of Call of Duty, throw it right the hell out the door. It's not even important at this point, because it's a map that's not interesting to me. It's just a remake of a map I've played for years, you know what I'm saying? And anyways, that leaves 2 new multiplayer maps that we'd never seen before. So that's 11 maps total that are actually decent for the game. The Resistance remake, I don't count that as a map. I think it's stupid, and the problem I have is when this became a trend of remaking maps, I wasn't okay with it. I was angry. I don't think remaking a map is good. Because I've played Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, and I've always loved the tradition of getting 4 new multiplayer maps and 1 special mode map. I've always looked forward to that. And when oh man, it's unreal. I just feel like they're cheating us now, because when they started this tradition of adding in remakes, everyone was happy. They're like, yay, we can finally play this map again. But I was sitting over there in the corner, pissed off. I was like, man, they're just getting lazy just to get the same amount of money from us. And so I was like, you know what, 3 new multiplayer maps and 1 remake, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. We're still getting 3 new maps. But now that there's only 3 multiplayer maps that are being added into Call of Duty World War II, and one of them's a remake, that's when I start getting pissed even more so, because we're only getting 2 new multiplayer maps when we should be getting at least 3 and 1 remake. Because if you think about it, guys, when you make a new map that no one's ever seen before, you design that shit from the ground up. That takes time and work. I know that. But when you remake a map, someone else has already developed that map, and you just take that USB drive with the file, shove it right the hell in the computer, and basically redesign it a little bit. It's definitely not as much work as creating a map from the ground up. So it doesn't make sense that because of this war mode, Sledgehammer was just like, let's just get rid of 1 whole multiplayer map, give them 3 maps, because basically you're just getting 2 maps. One of them took no effort for them to make, and they're still trying to sell it at the same price that they've always sold multiplayer or DLC packs at, and it's just ridiculous. I just can't get behind that. And for once, the season pass, I don't think the season pass is worth the money. And I didn't think when I made that video saying the season pass would definitely be worth it, I didn't think a month later I'd be sitting, recording this video saying the season pass is not worth it. The season pass is 100% not worth it at this point. I think we're getting cheated. I think it's ridiculous, because if we had 3 multiplayer maps, brand new, designed from the ground, completely new maps, and 1 remake, I could get by with it. Because the remake takes pretty much no effort to make. It's just a reskinned version of an old Call of Duty map. And it wasn't even designed by their studio, you know what I'm saying? Like, man. But it's just unreal. Like, it just makes me mad because they think it's acceptable that we, as a player base, will just throw money at them for the same thing. And the sad part is we will just keep throwing money at this company, and they're giving us less and less. We're getting 1 war mode map, which I'll probably play. I'll give it a go because it's, I'll probably end up buying the season pass, or I'll end up getting a DLC from someone I know. I don't know. Just to play the new maps, just to bring you guys content, because as the game is now, no one wants to keep seeing the same 9 maps over and over and over, and I definitely want some variability. I don't know, I still haven't decided it. I was 100% gunning for the season pass, but as it is now, the whole reveal of the DLC 1, I'm kind of pissed, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually get it yet. Right now, I'll have to see. It's tough because I want to record gameplay on the maps when they come out, but I also want to watch someone else do it beforehand, so I know if the maps are worth buying, because it's just ridiculous. I mean, I know I've said this shit's ridiculous throughout the video, throughout 11 minutes of this video, but it's just absolutely mind-blowing that they would do something like this. And I see people complaining about it too. I've been on Twitter and shit all night, and people are just complaining about the remake. They're complaining that there's not 4 multiplayer maps, because don't get me wrong, war mode, it's a good mode, but that's if you want to play competitively. You have to drive the objective, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's not fun, but it's not like you can just jump on Team Deathmatch and spray a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing and just have a good time, mindless killing. You have to play the objective, and that's the point of the mode. And so, because of that, not everyone wants to play that. I'm sure there's people that own the game that have never even played War, that have never even gone in a lobby before. You know what I'm saying? So, removing a multiplayer map just because of your new war mode that you forced into the game, no one asked for war mode. No one ever asked, Sledgehammer, for the love of God, please give us this war mode. No one ever asked for this war mode. You just thrusted it right down our throats, and we're like, here's our new war mode, and now they're removing a map from multiplayer to make way for this new war mode that not even 40% of the player base enjoys or plays all the time. The majority plays in just the regular game modes: Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Free For All, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy. Those modes are the majority of Call of Duty, so there's no reason why they should be limiting us on content just to make way for their new stupid mode that they put in the game without anyone wanting, Yes, I get the mode's innovative, but do not cut back on content for us just because you guys built this new mode or put this new mode into the game. And since they are cutting it back on content, I'd be okay if they threw 3 new multiplayer maps in there and 1 remake, because it would still be 3 multiplayer maps, but one of them would be a remake, and that takes literally no effort compared to making a map from the ground up. And now that they've completely got just tossed the idea out the window of having 4 multiplayer maps, and one of those being a remake, now we're getting 3 multiplayer maps, one of them's a remake, which just blows my mind. So we're basically getting 2 brand new maps, 2 brand new multiplayer maps, so that basically adds up to 11. So we have 11 maps total in the game that are custom to World War II, not any other game. And then we have the Resistance remake, of course, so that's 12, so at least we got 12 maps, but one of them is, like I said, a remake, which is it just blows my mind that they would just limit us on 3 multiplayer maps, with 1 not even being a new map. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't think they should charge the same amount of money, but they will, because it's Activision, and they're just greedy. So unfortunately, this is the world we're gonna have to live in, and sadly, it's just not paving the way for good content in the future of Call of Duty. And it sucks. It really does suck. Because at least we get the zombies map. If there's anything you're looking forward to in Call of Duty, enjoy the zombies map, because that's one of the main things that I'm only looking forward to now. I like the idea of the 2 new multiplayer maps that we've never seen before, and I like the zombies map because you always know the zombies maps are good. But mark my words on this video, one day we will get a zombies map that is a remake of a previous zombies map from a different Call of Duty game. If this is the road we're going down, where remakes are in every single game, and now we're limiting four multiplayer maps to 3, and one of them is being a remake, mark my words, throughout time, we're gonna get less and less content with every DLC pack. Maybe not in World War II, maybe not the next game, but eventually down the road, we're going to get more limited content, and they're going to want the same amount of money. Hell, they might even charge more. I don't know. But the whole thing's just backwards. It's making me mad. At this point, I would say don't buy the season pass. If you're just a regular user, wait for someone like a YouTuber like myself or someone like that to buy the pass, or get the new maps, play on them. And if you like the maps, if you like the way they look, if you like the zombies map, maybe do that. Maybe get them after checking them out. But I wouldn't blindly go into this just by looking at the few pieces of DLC that Sledgehammer has announced, because as it stands, it's a ripoff, and frankly, it's an insult to all of the player base of Call of Duty. They expect us to throw our money at it, and they're giving us literally less content. And I know you can argue that the war mode does make up for that map, and I can see your argument if you I can see your argument if you say the war mode technically counts as that 4th multiplayer map. But like I said, the majority of Call of Duty players do not play that war mode, and it's kind of selfish for Call of Duty and Sledgehammer just to think, hey, we threw this new mode in here, let's make a map and limit them on their multiplayer maps, just because it's their new mode and everything. I think since it's their new mode, no one was asking for it, I think that should have been a bonus to the season pass. And that's like what I originally said in my first video, where I said buy the season pass. I said we should have 4 multiplayer maps. 1 will probably be a remake, like I said, which I wouldn't have a problem with because we're still getting 3 new multiplayer maps. And we would get the extra war mode map, because this was like Call of Duty's things. They wanted to try out this new mode. So if it's a new mode that they're testing out, they should be making additional content for that mode, not restricting content from the main Call of Duty mode. The main maps and everything. So anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I know I kind of dragged on forever here. I apologize that this video dragged on for so long, and I'm sure a lot of you clicked off the video, but if you happen to stick around for all 18 minutes of this video, I hope you enjoyed. I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out there on the whole season pass dilemma, because I know a lot of people are angry and a lot of people are passionate about Call of Duty, and the state that it's in. Not only did this game not run for the first 2 weeks of the launch, now they're screwing us on our our DLC and everything like that. And I feel bad because I made a video prior saying, buy this season pass, it's going to be amazing this year, and then Sledgehammer completely 160 my ass. I don't even think 160 is a term. But anyways, they just completely came out of nowhere. I didn't think they would ever restrict the map, but I guess this is the day and age we live in. So I guess now they can pretty much do whatever they want for limiting us on content, just to pave way for their new mode that no one literally asked for. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope hopefully, if you have a different opinion, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. But obviously, after listening to me ramble on for 19 minutes, you definitely understand where I'm at with this season pass and with the whole DLC, packs with Call of Duty World War II. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I'm COD Gamer, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.